Why is Nepal provoking India? The government of Nepal has decided to come up with a new 100 rupee note. Well, good for Nepal. It is well within its rights, after all, to print, design, redesign notes. Currency is a country's internal matter, but it becomes problematic when you use currency as a tool to provoke another country by staking your claim over something that is not yours. For example, the areas of Kalapani, Lipulekh and Limpiyadhura. These are Indian areas, and this is where they are on the map of India. Then why do these areas feature on Nepal's new 100 rupee currency? The decision on the new notes was taken during a cabinet meeting last week, and chairing the meeting and overseeing this disastrous decision was Nepal's Prime Minister, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, Prachanda as he's known. And what exactly was Prachanda trying to prove with this unilateral decision? And on whose order and under whose guidance? Now, India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, has said, and I'm quoting here, our position is very clear. With Nepal, we are having discussion about our boundary matters through an established platform. In the middle of that, they unilaterally took some measures on their side. 4 years ago, Nepal indulged in some dubious map marking. It included Kalapani, Lipulekh and Limpiyadhura in its new map. A constitution amendment bill was then passed by the Parliament of Nepal. The misleading map was legitimized. At the helm of it all was the then Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli. And the very next year, the Oli government collapsed. China tried to come to Oli's rescue. It failed. In March this year, KP Sharma Oli's Communist Party of Nepal entered Nepal's coalition government. Oli now has a sway and a say. Less than a month later, you have a new provocation in the form of a new note. Is it a coincidence or more than that? Also, I told you how China had tried to save the Oli government when it was facing an imminent collapse. China had sent its top officials, in fact, to Nepal. The Chinese ambassador to Nepal also reached out to the members of the rival faction within Oli's party to try to stop them from pushing out Oli from office. That is how deep China was in the game and governance in Nepal. And with Oli back in governance, has the Chinese influence in Kathmandu increased as well? In March, as Nepal's coalition saw a recalculation with the exit of the Nepali Congress and the entry of Oli's Communist Party, there was already a buzz in Kathmandu about who could be pulling the strings. Nepali Congress, along with other parties, pointed the finger at China. C.K. Roth, who is the chairman of the Janamat Party, said, and I'm quoting here, "The government was changed in Kathmandu under the influence of China and its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative." Oli was forced to clarify. He claimed China did not engineer the change in government. Now, cut to the note nuisance, one cannot help but ask, was this China's plan as well? Was the cabinet decision taken under Chinese orders? China will not be facing the consequences, Prachanda will. The Prime Minister is already, in fact, facing criticism at home. Reports say former diplomats are calling Prachanda's decision too provocative and uncalled for. Now, obviously, the notes will not come into circulation anytime soon. It's a long process. The cabinet's decision will first have to be sent to Nepal's central bank. Next, the central bank will have to come up with the tenders for printing the notes. The entire process could take about a year. But is it worth provoking India? India, after all, gives development assistance to Nepal. India was the first responder following the 2015 earthquake in Nepal. India provided 1 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine in grants to Nepal. During the pandemic, almost all of Nepal overland trade, and I repeat, almost all of Nepal's overland trade with India and the rest of the world took place through customs stations on the Indian border. India is the largest trading partner of Nepal. India accounts for about 2/3 of Nepal's merchandise trade. a third of trade in service, about 100% of petroleum supplies. India is also the largest source of foreign investments in Nepal. Seriously, what was Prachanda thinking? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.